Hello and welcome back. So today's episode I have Emily and we are in PAG or Physique Architect Gyms in Fleet, which is hence the different around us. And we are just going to talk a little bit today, and there is no one better than Emily sat next to me, about fitness and priorities and when things are busy and when things can get a little bit hectic and it can feel like all fitness should just be thrown out the window. Now, I'm going to just introduce a little bit about Emily before she starts speaking, because there is no better guest. Emily has 3 jobs. She works a 9 to 5. Can I explain what you do a little bit?
So I work in animal pharma, so I'm technically like an antigen specialist. Making vaccines.
So funky. And obviously you have all your Emerge stuff.
I do.
And you obviously have all your photography, videography, consultancy.
Yeah, the creative consultancy.
There you go. That's the words. So, and I competed with Ems last year. This year. It was last season. The season's just gone. This year. And yeah, so Ems somehow manages to fit everything in. And it's not necessarily talking about like comparisons or anything like that, but just in how to prioritize. We're going to start with what you want to do and with your goal and why we need to prioritize things, and also deciding that you should do this or that to manage life. So what would be your starting to do this? Because out of anyone, you had to prioritize a lot. And obviously competing is the more extreme of it.
Yes.
But, I think it's still important to recognize, that things can get busy, and if you want to hit your goals, you've got to do something to change or shift something.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the best ways to start with it. I mean, guaranteed, maybe the first point to make is that I have been doing this for a long time.
Yes.
I don't think something like prioritization it just happens. You need to be able to learn a skill that goes along with it. So for the sense of me, everyone was saying about bodybuilding prep being quite difficult because you have to tick, as John likes to say, tick a lot of boxes.
Yeah. I now pass it down to my clients. I'm like, tick your box.
Even I say it, and I don't actually like the saying because I think I work a lot with lists. So I'm just kind of like, ugh, no. Anyway, for me, it was really easy. Bodybuilding prep was easy because it was just a priority list.
Yeah.
And
each day is just a list.
Yeah. So how I prioritize things is I have a set amount of things that I need to do a week. And there's things that are essentials, there are things that are potentials, and there's things that are optional. So they're just in 3 different categories. Yeah. So I don't have anything fancy. I have a Google Calendar and I just prioritize backwards. So I'm like, let's say business calls, podcast episode and training, that's a priority. So they're the first things to go into my calendar.
And work. Your 9 to 5 goes in there, that's normal.
Well, see, I eradicate that period. I never even class that time. That time is just blocked out every single week.
It's just a given.
Yeah, everything else is what comes around it. So it's like, work is going to be work. I have to turn up to my 9 to 5. I have to turn up to the rest of the stuff as well, but I can't change the 9 to 5. So that's another thing that you need to think of when you're prioritizing. What are the things that you can control and what are the things that you can't control? Because the things you can't control, you need to kind of put them to the side.
Yeah.
And they kind of become potentials.
Yeah.
Optionals.
Yeah.
Because it's like, for the sense of, it's going to sound really bad to say and it makes me sound probably terrible as a person. You go into the cinema to watch a film that you're not really that bothered about is an optional.
Yes.
You don't have to go.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose all your friends because you don't go.
Yes.
But if that means you go into that means you don't train, which means you don't hit the goals for that week, which means you potentially...
Your steps are less, could miss a meal.
Down the line, that's going to be bad against your next season.
Yeah.
That's a priority.
Drop the mic.
Yeah. I think there's going to be a few times.
And I think as well, that sort of brings in the social side of it as well, because yes, you can still do it, but like you say, it being an option means it kind of needs to be, if you're pushing towards the goals that you want to hit, it might need to just take a step back slightly. It doesn't mean that it can't happen. I say this sort of with the goals because everyone's goals they are different, and obviously not everyone's goals is to get on stage, but you have to sacrifice a little bit. And I think, like you say, putting things in is what I do. I live my life by my diary, and if it's not in there, it's not happening. And I put in my training, I put in my cardio, I even put in when I'm going to do my abs, because otherwise I'll forget, it will get missed, or I'll go for a walk here, I'll do that. Where you've got those little spaces of time, it really makes a difference.
I don't think people understand as well the mental capacity it takes to prioritize against not prioritizing.
Yeah.
Because it's actually easier to prioritize mentally and have everything down on a piece of paper, on a Google Drive, on whatever, than it is to go flying by the seat of your pants, as people say.
I've never heard that before, but I love that.
Right. So he's like, you look like you're flying by the seat of your pants, but you're not. Because when you said that I make it look easy, it's because I've already done the work.
Yeah.
I already know what I'm doing. I don't need to think about it anymore, because I know on this day, like today, I knew that I needed to be at the gym by 7.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
Everything else works around it. And my whole day from 5 a.m. this morning has been scheduled.
And I think it makes it so much easier. Like, if I need to do this, this, and this up here, it's in the abyss of nowhere. Like, it's not, it's not going to get done. This second, and that's why I have a billion notes on my phone, and you said it to me the other day as well.
You are a notes queen.
It is listed, and the second I can cross that off, it's gone. Like, it is done, and I don't need to think about it anymore. And it's the same in my diary, but my to-do lists are much better. But it's never ending. I just keep adding to them.
Yeah, but it's the mental clarity you get from it, because I don't know how people function with having so much in their space, like so much in their mental space.
It's a lot.
I think it's why people think that I come across very calm and collected and all this kind of stuff, especially when it comes to business. But it's because I already know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So like if I'm sitting on a client call with someone and I exactly know why I'm turning up to that meeting, what I'm trying to present at that meeting, and what I'm trying to get out of that meeting, it's just easier. My life gets so much easier, because then I'm not sitting there on a meeting going, what do I need to say next?
Yeah,
like,
you're not thinking about it because you know what you're getting out of it.
Yeah, so like prioritization, it's a skill.
Yeah,
it's not something. If anyone's ever turned around to you and said that it's like, generic, say with confidence. If anyone tells me that confidence is generic, is lying.
Yeah,
it's a skill.
Yeah, and I think as well, it's weighing up exactly as we said at the beginning, like where your priorities lie depending on the goal. Like with, obviously, for the stage, you have to hit your steps, you have to hit your meals, you have to get your training in, abs, whatever it may be, cardio, the list is endless. So that has to go in my day, my work, clients, whatever, that has to as well. And really, which is why people say, oh, you've got no time for anything, it's because you have to fit that in. You can't just don't worry about that. Oh, you can't do that. So everything else is a little back burner because it's not the top priority. Yes, if you've got more time at the weekend when you haven't got anything else, okay, yeah, that's when it's a little bit easier to manage, until the back end when you're a little bit.
Yeah, but even scheduling in that time.
Yeah.
Like I've scheduled in social stuff. I was telling you this week, the majority of this week is social.
Yeah.
But I've scheduled it in. But it meant last week, unfortunately, I was sick as a dog. Last week was meant to be the week where I did all the work. Now I've got to do both in 1 week. It's a fun time.
And it's just putting it into perspective as well. And, I think everyone knows what they need to prioritize. And I think we can be a little bit lazy. I think people, generally we are as humans. Maybe not you are. You're not lazy. But I think
can be lazy, though.
But the idea of chilling, that's the nice feeling.
I have no idea what that means.
But I think it is, we enjoy that. And I think as soon as people get that, idea in their head, they're like, oh, I could chill instead of doing this, 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 and this. Yeah, but you can chill later. I always think, I'm always like, oh, I'll sleep later. I can be tired later. I'll go to bed later. That's fine. I'll just suck it up for today. Today's going to be busy. We're going to attack it and we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I guess it comes into as well, coming into our next point, making excuses, which Em was very excited about. And this is where I guess it is a little bit more hard hitting. And again, dependent on your goal, depends on what you want to prioritize. And, you know, if you want to do something well, you know, you can't really, there's no time for excuses.
Making excuses is easier.
Yeah.
Making an excuse is easier. The way that I see it is making an excuse is giving the accountability to someone else because you have someone to blame.
Yeah.
If you can make an excuse on anything in your life, your relationship not working, your career not working, your business not working, your fitness journey not working, you can blame your partner, your mum, your dad, your boss, your coach. And it takes away that accountability. Excuses is a poor excuse of you not wanting to take accountability on your own life. That's as simple as it needs to be.
Yeah.
And the terrifying thing about it is when you start taking severe accountability for your life, it is life-changing in the most positive and negative way possible. Because it's positive because you get a hold on what
exactly
you
what
want
you're doing
and the direction you want to go. But the negative is you turn into your own worst critic because you start turning around. Like, I do it all the time where I'm sat there and I'm like, I haven't done this. Right, okay. Well, I have a small section here, or I can just stay up half an hour later and get it done now.
Yeah.
And the internal conversations I have to have with myself are probably not the prettiest. And I wouldn't suggest all the time that you have it with yourself, but it's because I hold myself up to such a high standard on what I'm trying to do. And there's only me who's going to fall at the end of it.
And I had a similar thing the other day, and actually it's popped into my head straight away as soon as you started speaking. Obviously, I had to do cardio, and I had to do it for an hour. Now, I haven't done an hour's cardio for, oh my gosh, when was it, 12, 14 weeks ago?
Yeah.
Since prep finished. Obviously, I've still had cardio since, absolutely fine, but I've not had to do an hour. And I was shattered, and I woke up and I was still shattered, even after having like 8 or 9 hours sleep, and I was like, I could do this a little bit later. Oh, I could do it that time. I don't want to do it at the weekend. I don't want to do it later. It was so much easier. And I must have sat there for about 20 minutes going, could I do this? I was trying to think of as many things as possible. And I thought, no, you're awake. Turn your light on. Just get up. And I didn't want to do it, but you do. Like, I think there's not, I said this on my story when I posted about it, because I thought, you know, put it out to everyone else. If we did everything based on how we feel,
we wouldn't do anything.
We wouldn't do anything.
You wouldn't do it. And that's a simple psychology thing. Because if you think about it, we are animals at the end of the day. Now, this is where I start getting into my very logical, Emily, how I think and process things. And this is probably the side of me that not a lot of people say. But
here we go.
We are animals at the end of the day. And if you are fortunate enough, you have a roof over your head, you have food on your table, and you are loved. They're the 3 most basic needs that we need as an animal. It's what every animal out there is fighting for. To reproduce, to eat, and to be safe. So if you already have those things kind of like satisfied, you're not searching for it. You never have to go into a survival mode.
Yeah.
You never have to go into a mode where if you don't do this, you are not seeing tomorrow, which is a difference with animals. And we think it's savage. We think it's savage when we see animals do crazy things in order to survive. But we don't need to do it for ourselves.
Yeah.
You know,
because we're good. Because
after this, we're going to go home. I'm going to have my last meal of the day. And I'm going to go to sleep in my nice warm house. Not everyone gets to do that. I'm not going to say that, you know, like everyone's sunshine and roses. Yeah. But then it gives us this excuse because we don't have a survival mode. And I think that's why when it comes to bodybuilding, it comes to any sort of extreme sport, any sort of like pushing yourself out of comfort zone, you have to push yourself into a survival mode.
Yeah.
And you really find out who you are as a person when you do that.
Oh my God,
because you're taking your normal instinct. You're taking our natural instincts that have been put into us since we were gorillas, and you're bringing it back to the surface again. And that's why I think we've got a generation at the minute, which might be controversial to say, and I'm probably someone who's not going to agree with this. We have a generation of kids now who think they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
That's what we've got now, because they don't have any responsibility.
And it's also being uncomfortable, and as well.
No one wants to be uncomfortable.
Like, you know, no one likes that.
No,
like,
I hate it. And I do it all the time. So do you.
You know, and it says, and I guess that, I mean, that's why we chase the gym. You know, when you're uncomfortable, you know, you push that a little bit further. And but you have to sit, and we spoke about it on the pod with John, and you have to sit in that being uncomfortable to just push that little bit further. And I think no one likes being there. We live in a safe zone, like, I'm good in my little bubble and I'm just going to stay here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I am really tired. Okay, you can be tired after X or whatever you need to put in. And, you know, if someone's sort of going, like, I don't know, swimming 3 times a week, oh, I've been really consistent, so I'm just going to, you know, oh, I'm a little bit tired, or I've got something on tonight, so I'm going to miss it. That one time is going to be a knock-on effect. Yes, it is one time. Yes, obviously, when we're ill, and things like that. There are that we have to take into consideration that no, it's not going to damage. But if you did that over a period of time, your mindset's just going to get more and more in that safe zone. I didn't go last Monday, so actually I could go just twice again this week. You know, it's going to just follow on. And I think that's the downfall and the danger that it can get into.
Yeah, it's a downfall. It's also, like, as you're saying, pushing ourselves into an uncomfortable zone. We don't do it. We don't do it at all. Because if you think about it in the sense of, right, again, another thing that might be controversial, we buy everything on finance. No one has to work hard enough to buy a car outright.
Yeah.
Imagine if you actually had to. Imagine if you wanted that Mercedes-Benz or that Range Rover or a Seat Ateca. Who freaking knows? And you just want it, you can get it. If you've got a credit score that's all right, you can get it.
Yeah.
They will get that money out of you. But then you're going to complain that you're living paycheck to paycheck. And unfortunately, coming to people like me who don't live paycheck to paycheck, asking me how I did it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I did it. I didn't spend my money on stupid shit.
Yeah. And again, that comes into the priorities.
Yeah. And it's funny because obviously now I'm very fortunate, but I've also worked goddamn hard to get where I am today. The things that I do have now, people pick up. How do you afford that? With money.
Because I can.
It's like, because I'm elite. To this day, when I first started the company, every single penny that I made, I spent. And not on clothing.
Yeah.
I mean, other clothing from other brands.
Yeah.
Like, and it was one of the worst mistakes I ever made with it. It's also why I take severe accountability and I don't take excuses anymore.
Yeah.
Because I did that, and the reason this took so long to get off the ground is because I just didn't care.
Yeah.
I sold a t-shirt, 20 quid in my back pocket. Oh, I could go out. I could get a takeaway. I could do this. I could do that.
Yeah.
Ever since I realised that, and then ever since COVID really knocked me on my arse, and going into such a significant debt with it, I have not taken a single penny out of that company since.
Yeah.
And now, funnily enough, it's grown 220% in 1 year. And I've not taken one penny out of it. Funny how these things work.
Well done,
right?
guys.
You know, like, as we look at it, funny how me getting away with the excuses
and you had
and just taking the accountability that is not my money.
And also to be a little bit uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
you know what? I have to still work a day job. I still have to do 14, 16-hour days.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much money I'm making. I still have to put in so much work to it because this is not in a position for me to enjoy the revenue that comes out of it. I've taken that accountability, but also I had to put myself in a very, very uncomfortable position of climbing out of debt with it.
To push further out.
Yeah, I had to go in the bin, as I like to call it.
to get out.
I've got to put myself in the bin to get out of the bin. And that's what I did.
And I think we always have these moments, like, no one's life is like,
no.
Like, it's constant.
Life is not linear.
But it's always temporary. So, you know, okay, I am ill, I can't train today. Okay, you can't control that. Control what you can control, always. Like, you can't control being ill. Okay, so we get up and we go, like, when we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that, like, being ill is an excuse, it's a fact.
There are some things that you, like, as I said before, there's things you can control and there's things that you can't control. Like, if you're sick, you can't control that. So you just need to work around what you can control, which at that point is going to be your health.
Yep.
So it's getting better. There you go. There's your priority list.
Yeah. And if you're tired, no.
Yeah, it's like something that really annoys me. It's like some people think that I need to schedule 14 to 16-hour days and everything's got to make me money or it's got to make me this or make me that. No. Scheduling, making sure that you get your freaking meal prep done.
Yeah.
Scheduling that you take yourself for a walk because
that's
it's good for your mental health.
That's for you.
Make sure that you schedule in a Wednesday afternoon with your friends and stuff like that, because that's what makes you happy. There are so many things that you've got to take in consideration when it comes to prioritization. Sunday night with you at Q Lights.
Yeah.
It was such a nice refresher for me because I'd had such a bad week with being ill. It was a nice thing to go back into.
Yeah.
Instead of going, I haven't worked all week. What am I going to do? How are my businesses running? How is this going? Because obviously I just had to essentially give my work away for a week and then just be like, and have no idea what was going on with it.
Yeah.
That's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because you know
I'm really fun on Monday.
That was great on Monday.
I think people know when it's an excuse.
Yeah.
And I think especially if we're sort of driving this back to the fitness side of things, like, you know, you can be a little bit tougher on yourself. Like, you know, you can do that little bit more. And I think tired or being busy, as obviously we're saying, you know, what do you want to prioritize? All of these three things, they come hand in hand with each other. And I think, you know, what do you do if you're struggling with being busy, and how do you fit in the gym? How do you fit in cardio? Because you do it and you tick it.
I make sure it's done.
In amongst all the other three jobs. And I think people panic when it comes to being busy. Oh, I'm really crazy, or this is a crazy social week, or I've got a really late night, or da, da, da. And the list could be endless of busyness. And I think people just go, oh no, I can't do it.
And they just melt down.
You can.
And you can do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, you can do it.
You have to be, like, it takes a lot.
Yeah.
John Barry does not like that word either.
And there's a difference between busy and productive. So very early on in my business career, I was very busy but not productive. So it was a lot of pushing a mouse around a key and typing on a keyboard, but nothing really happened. And then I realized that I was like, I'm busy but not productive. What do I need to be productive?
Yeah.
So then it's changing the way that you look at things. For an example, as I said to you, I eradicate my day job from my list.
Yep.
I have to do that. And I do the same with the gym and cardio.
Yep.
They go into my diary. They do not get moved. People see me doing cardio at 9, half 9 at night, because that's when I can fit it in.
Yeah.
But it's still, that is a priority no matter what I'm doing.
And also,
I can have a nap and still get that cardio in.
Yeah, 100%.
And I never have a nap. I'm jealous of all your naps. So if I can fit a nap in and still get cardio done, there are no excuses.
Yeah, and it's like, I think people say, oh, like, I've only got... A lot of people like to chill for a long period of time in the evenings. Yeah. Like, people get... And I can say this, you know, my family, they get in from work at like 5, 6 p.m. and they're like, oh, I don't want to go out now. Like, that's me done.
Yeah.
But that is a whole evening. That's like, what, 4 or 5 hours, depending on obviously what time you go to bed, that a lot can be fit in. We only really, like, everyone is different. And obviously if you want to prioritize having that, you know, you can get up earlier to fit it in. But if you do, like, and I can vouch for, like, you know, a lot of my clients, they say I'm a no-go zone when I get in from work. Okay, so we've got to do it on the other end. There is only 24 hours in a day. I wish it was longer. But, you know...
That would be dangerous.
Yeah, it would. It still get filled. You know, you've got to make it work either way. Okay, if you're telling me you're not going to go in the evening, okay, well, you've got to go in the evening. Oh, but I'm not much of a morning person. Okay, well, you've got to make a decision here, fit it in your lunch break. What are you going to do that? Yeah. Because it's not... You can't just do that for every single day. 100%.
Like, as you said before, you can't accommodate to the way you feel.
No,
your feelings don't matter.
No,
like, it sounds savage to say, but your feelings don't matter in this situation.
No,
like honestly, let's being totally honest. When I step on stage next year or the year after, the judges aren't going to care about how I feel.
No, and I've always said that.
This business does not care how I feel.
No,
like, my clients, funnily enough, don't actually care how I feel. Because if I wasn't making them any money, I'm not doing my job.
Yeah.
So you can care about how you feel. I'm not saying that, because obviously, you know, struggling with prioritization, that's a different thing, and we'll get on to that in a minute. But, like, you have to be able to separate the two.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to do it in the evening, tough doo-doos. get it done in the morning.
Yeah.
I do it in the morning.
Yeah.
Because it's a priority for me, because my days are not consistent.
Yeah.
So for me to train in the evening is difficult, because if I have a client who calls me up and says all their Facebook ads have gone haywire and I need to fix them, that's my evening done.
Yeah.
Sorry, everything in my evening then has to move just to prioritize that client, because my priority changes.
Yeah. And it's as well, like, you know, if you really want, like, okay, again, we're going to the extremes. If you want to get stage lean, like, you have got, like, you can't, there is no excuse.
No.
Like, and if you want to, okay, I really want to push to lose that weight and keep it off, you know, in no matter what context. Okay, well, we've got to do these habits, and we've got to tick those boxes every day, and it's got to happen. So you've got to work out where the heck they're going to go, because otherwise you won't get to the goal that you've originally said to me. And you know, sometimes, especially with clients, I have to be a little bit like that, because it's like, you know, you've come to me, we want to hit this goal, this is what you've got to do.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're
You've
not
come
being
to me for a
consistent,
reason.
yeah, and also if you're not being consistent with that, you know, then we're not going to sort of know where, like, where your goals are sitting, and they might seem a lot further away. You can always have those moments and come back to, okay, right, you know, actually, I've had a word with myself, because those moments happen. We always have blips, and we're human.
Step back on.
Exactly. And all of those struggles are temporary as well. But I think, you know, you have to, if you want to get to something, you've got to fit it in.
Yeah.
And, you know, don't try and make excuses. Like, everyone knows when to make an excuse.
Yeah.
Like,
If you have to ask yourself twice, you'll make an excuse.
yeah.
If you have to sit there and you're in bed and you want to get out of bed and you've gone, I should get out of bed now, and then you've stayed there and you say it again, I need to get out of bed now, you're making an excuse.
Yeah.
You're making an excuse to yourself
To just
of
sit in
why
this
you
warm
aren't getting
toasty.
out of bed. Now, there's a really good book. Funny, this is just going off now. There's a really good book. It's called The 5-Second Rule by Mel Robbins. If you want to
She
know
is incredible.
psychology tricks about getting yourself into the zone very quickly, please check out her book. It is the best book ever. It's one of the... That and another book called The Compounding Effect by Darren Hardy. Best 2 books I've read. And I read a lot, as well as everything else.
So you can always fit in all your social things, like, and all your you time. Like, you know, we all need that. Like, we're not saying, oh, you've got to be on the go from 5 a.m. till 10:30 p.m. when you go to sleep.
To be successful, that's bullshit.
No.
Sorry.
Like, no.
Actually, I've not sworn a lot.
But it's true. And, like, but if you want to get to where you want to go, okay, you've got to sacrifice like an hour of your evening to go to the gym, or do cardio, or do some steps, or go out for a walk, or go swimming, whatever it is for you.
Yeah. But it's also, if you move on to the point of if you struggle to do that, a massive thing for me to clients, because obviously, I mean, I've done the same with you. I want to teach clients how to do this on their own. I don't want them to pay me for the rest of their life to do it for them, because that's not my objective. My objective is to teach people how to build a business. And it's like, and a business works with the people in it.
Yeah.
So if you do struggle with prioritization, the first thing that I go through with my clients is, what do you prioritize? It's like, if you have a service-based business, you give a service to someone else, how can you already do better at what you're doing than trying to add things to your plate? Because if you keep adding to your plate, the rest of it just kind of fizzles out.
Yeah.
Again, it's like having one meal and putting it on a bunch of different plates, instead of learning to cook.
Yeah.
Learning to cook and fill every single plate. And you should just do one plate at a time. So if your sleep is struggling, prioritize sleep.
Start.
That's
somewhere.
the only thing you need to do. These people, and this is why people fall off the wagon so quickly, is because they see someone like me, or they see someone like you, and I can show people my diary, and they'd be shooketh. But, like, don't try and do that. That's not going to work for you. It's just not. You're not going to fit all that in. But what's one thing that I do that you love that I do? Okay, do you really like the fact that I go to the gym 5 days a week and I still do 4 sessions of cardio? Cool. How can you do that?
Make one step to get closer, if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Your goal. Yeah.
If you want to start doing cardio, but you're a bit terrified of the gym, go to the gym, go on the treadmill for 10 minutes, go.
Yeah.
Next time, go on the treadmill, go for 15 minutes, go. Stop making it, I have to do an hour of cardio. I have to keep my heart rate.
I have to do 5 sessions.
I have to do this. Because you know what? That motivational video on YouTube said so. It's crap. It's absolute crap.
And motivation doesn't exist, I'm sorry.
Motivation doesn't exist.
I don't.
It's discipline, accountability and responsibility,
Yeah.
and that's it.
It's just not.
I mean, I've got enough words tattooed on me that I look at. Like, people wonder why I've got persistence literally right there. And it's because whenever I go through a moment where I'm falling off the wagon and my brain is doing a lot, my brain is being an absolute dingleberry and I hate it. Whenever I have my arm in front of me, that's the first thing I can see, which is persistence. And that's something I've done my entire life. My mum and dad say it all the time. I am the most persistent person ever. If someone shuts a door in my face, I'm bashing it back open. Because I'm persistent.
Yeah.
Because I can kind of just...
And it's accepting as well. Okay. And again, I spoke on this on the pod with Dawn. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Put
gone.
it behind you.
That's gone. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Go. Keep going.
Yeah.
Even if... Okay, oh, my sleep was rubbish this day. Okay, well, sleep can be better tonight. Oh, my water wasn't that great. Okay, water can be better tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know, okay, I only did 10 minutes cardio. Okay, well, it's better. Do you know what I mean?
Something.
Just do something each day.
Yeah. And stop being so hard on yourself. All these people who think, being a high performance individual, as they call it, and they think that we're all really harsh with ourselves. I am, a lot, but I'm actually really nice to myself at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
And I think as well, I really enjoy, my time with friends at the weekends and stuff. But without that, I genuinely don't think, it wouldn't be the same. I'd be working, I enjoy that time off. And that's me, that I need that.
Yeah.
Again, similar to what you said from the weekend. So you've got to keep that in as well. Because that can be a priority too.
Yeah, really fun fact. My businesses have done better now more than ever. And I actually prioritise my social time and my time more than anything else.
Yeah.
Before, again, that was another thing of being busy but not productive.
Yeah.
Now my businesses are productive and everything is done, I can schedule things in.
Yeah.
I schedule in my football. I schedule in, I've said to you, everyone finds it hilarious. No one fucks with my football.
No.
Not even my business. Even if someone turns around to me and they said, this is a really good business opportunity. No, it's not. Why is it not? Because Arsenal's playing, so I'll see you later.
And I think as well, and your gym, your cardio, if you enjoy it, that's your you time. Enjoy, embrace that.
Yeah.
Some people are like, I actually really enjoy the gym.
I love cardio.
Okay, put it in more. I like cardio, but
no, I love cardio.
It picks and chooses.
Yeah, but
it's
I love
your
cardio
time.
because it's the only time I'm away from a computer.
Yeah.
I'm away
and it makes
from
such a difference.
Even though I talk to people all the time. You've seen my DMs, you've seen the engagement that I have with people. I'm consistently talking to people. But it's so much nicer to do it on cardio because my full attention goes to that.
Yeah.
When I'm sitting at a computer and I've got three screens in front of me, probably 3 different problems as well, and then I'm also trying to give someone a genuine answer on Instagram, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I love cardio because it's my time with my audience.
Yeah. And I think, I switch it from it feeling like a chore. Do what you enjoy. You don't have to, like I said, so I think one of my clients, when I first spoke to her, she said, I want to be a 5 a.m. person. I was like, okay, you can do that, but you don't have to be a 5 a.m. person. No one needs that. If I can sleep in till 7 or 8, what a dream. Even half the dream. But you don't have to be that. Don't make yourself or force yourself to be someone you're not. But also, if you want to, be a little bit more productive in the morning, because that's that time, because you, when you get home, will enjoy that, then okay, we can work towards that. But, if you...
It's a choice.
Wake up for 8 a.m. most days, and then you suddenly set your alarm for 5 o'clock for the following week. It's going to be a bit of a struggle.
I find it really funny. Everything in life is a choice.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
So if you want to choose a better lifestyle, it's your choice.
Yeah.
But that's why I say that you need to stop making excuses, because you need to take accountability that it's your choice.
Yeah.
So if you want to eat a takeaway, bloody hell, if there's pizzas in front of me and I've made that choice, I'm going with my choice.
It's a good choice.
It's a very good choice. I love my pizza. But then
and if anyone has seen the photo of me and Emily when we finished competing, I really want to put it on the end of this when I put it on a clip on Instagram now.
I've got it all
of eating a pizza. It was heaven.
It's the fact that we didn't even sit down. We just opened it up and started eating it. Everyone was just like, you can sit down and enjoy that if you want. And I was like, no, you might take it.
But yeah.
Wait 20 weeks for this.
Too long. And I think that kind of puts everything so nicely in a nice little bubble as well. And we've covered so much, and it's down to you. Like, take ownership. And yeah, I think that's...
Just take accountability for your own life. You'll find out that your life changes in so many more positive directions than negative directions if you choose accountability on what you're doing, instead of leaving that to someone else.
Yeah.
Don't give someone accountability for your life. It's yours.
Yeah.
So if you want to do something better with your life, choose it.
Yeah. And I should want to end with, have you seen that clip of, I think it's Chris Williamson doing Do the Thing?
Yeah.
Thinking about the thing is not doing the thing.
Yeah, just do the thing.
Scheduling the thing is not doing the thing. Just do the thing.
Yeah. Drop.
But yeah. But thank you so much for joining. And obviously thank you for being my guest.
Oh, thank you for having me.
And obviously if you've loved it, like, it would be great. Any shares or anything is always grateful. And yeah, thank you for listening. And we shall see you on the next pod.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, Supergirl here, and I am a super fan of SMJ Media Group. They provide support for local businesses, charities and events, and of course create fun content for all of you. If you enjoy our content and would like to help support us, please go to buymeacoffee.com/SMJ Media Group and buy us a coffee.